All right, so we're going to talk about how to get out of like a choke or hair hold. So we'll start with choke first. So Rob is grabbing Jeremy 2 hands front, choking. All right, first thing Jeremy's doing is one, coming up to try to keep the hands from gaining more pressure as he's lifting his shoulder. So he's what we call short necking. Short necking is bringing your shoulders up to help shorten your neck, right? So that's part of the first one. Next, he's going to bring his hands up, and he's going to torque left or right to release the grip around his neck. So one more time, Rob comes in, comes across. So remember that, don't choke your partner hard, but put your hands in place, keep pressure so that they come across, they can set up the release, and 2, get out of the way afterwards. So it comes across, and he's moving. So if you had to go to fingers, you could use fingers underneath. You just have to be able to get a hold of a thumb so he could come underneath it, grab onto the thumb, pry it away, right? If they're on the wall, so we'll have it just go on the wall here. If Jeremy's hands are there, Rob comes up, comes over the top, shoulder comes out, and he's getting back to a position that it makes it harder for Jeremy to grab him again. All right, so try it one more hand, come across, deflect out of the way. All right, so back on the dot here. And Rob, first drill is just basically how to feel the choke and then tuck. So as he comes around, he's tucking his chin, he's tucking it in, and he's basically rotating his chin to the bend of the arm. Okay, that's the first one. So he's going to do a couple times on each side as he's rotating. He's grabbing it, rotating it. All right. So he's trying to turn it in from a air choke, which is straight across the neck, to a blood choke, but bringing his shoulders up so his chin or his jawline dips below. So he does have an option if he's down to the V of the arm that he could bite. If biting's your only option, that's an option. All right. But now for Jeremy to get out, he's going to bring his right arm up high and he's going to spin in towards Rob. All right. Once he gets there, he's grabbing around the waist and he's cupping the bicep so that Rob cannot grab him. And if he can, he's trying to duck out underneath either arm to go behind him. All right. So let's do it from this position again. So he comes in, ducks his chin, comes up, spins towards him, checking that bicep, right? And then moving out of the kill zone or ducking underneath, all right? So when you practice this, don't put a lot of pressure on the neck, but ducking down your chin so that it will still hurt on each side of your jaw, but it will keep you conscious. So this time Rob's gonna pull Jeremy back off balance, and I want you to see that the space he creates helps him get out of it, all right? So I'm gonna have Jeremy face this way and you'll see it a little bit better. So if he's facing this way right here, when Rob pulls him back, he's leaning back, then he's spinning in. That little bit of lean back helps him create distance to get out of there, all right? So that was escape from choke. Well, let's talk about front choke escape with one hand. It's the same. So if Rob has a hold of Jeremy with one hand, let's take a little step here to center up there. So if Rob has a hold of Jeremy with one hand, right, he's going to do the same. He's going to come up, he's going to rotate, and then he's going to move outside. With any choke, if Rob has 2 hands or 1 hand on, any other strikes that Jeremy has to add to it. So if he wants to punch, kick, hit, we're at the highest force level we can be at. So this is basically, they're trying to do serious bodily injury to us, and that we can reply appropriately because we're in a self-defense situation. Okay? So he's going to demonstrate what we call the dragon's lair. So with 2 fingers, if you push in at the base, right, where the upper chest meets the lower part of the throat, if you push in and push down, you'll find there's a little notch there. That will get a lot of people to release it, but you're pushing in and then downward, right? Make sure you do it slowly. If you're practicing with a partner, remember you have fingernails, so don't gouge in. But just do a little pressure there and you'll kind of feel like it's uncomfortable. That's what we're working on. All right, so we had front choke escape and rear choke escape.